Hey guys, Randy here, and I just wanted to show you a little bit about how to use ChatGPT in your everyday life or any of your favorite artificial intelligence engines. And as you can see, I'm in ChatGPT chat. I need to engage I need to start my brain before I engage my mouth. So what I'm trying to do is show you how to use ChatGPT or any of your other favorite artificial intelligence engines in your everyday life. It will make your life so much easier, and it's fun and it's addictive because finding information is so easy now with these AI engines. And there are a couple of caveats. You have to make sure that you ask it to double check everything because sometimes it does get stuff wrong. So it's always best to throw in there to tell it to double check itself just to be sure. Anyway, uh, one of the features I like best about ChatGPT, which it is supposed to be coming in Gemini, but I haven't seen it yet, is the ability to do a temporary chat because sometimes I don't want to keep a chat just because it's an off the cuff type question. And also in your panel over here on the left hand side where my mouse is moving up down, it keeps a record of all your chats that are not temporary. And if you're trying to keep your chats organized so you can go back and forth between them, it can become a hassle if you have a bunch of small chats that have meaningless content. You can delete them, but it's a hassle. You got to remember to go back in there and delete them. So I'm going to click on the temporary chat button up here in the upper right hand corner. I often get my right and left hands mixed up, so I have to feel my finger right here. I have a callus I developed as a child in grade school from using a pen or holding a pencil for years and years and years. So even to this day, even though I don't write as much, I still have that bump right there that's built in. So the question I had today was, I started getting a headache right after I had my lunch, and I had some new foods. I was trying to figure out if one of those new foods caused it to happen. So I'm going to pull up my notes in a different window because I copied stuff down so that I've already done this once, and then I thought, hey, why don't I record it? Show you how I came up with the answers. So basically, I had a small sandwich and some dill pickle spears and green olives, and yeah, that was it. So I had a sandwich, some pickle spears, and some olives. And about 30 minutes later, I developed a headache after that, not necessarily because of that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy my original question into this temporary chat GPT session. And like I said, you can type this into any of the chats. Chat GPT has just become my go-to because number one, I can talk to it if I want to, which is super fast and it's super easy and it makes it super addictive because you can just press the button and start talking to it and press it when you're done. And some of the other ones, I think Claude does not allow you to do that. I think that Gemini does. And if you use the Google AI on the Google search page, it lets you talk to it as well. But I just hate to say it, I've kind of developed a relationship with ChatGPT just because I've used it the most and it's the easiest one for me to use. So I'm going to paste my query into here. So I'm just going to press the control button and the letter V for paste. I've already control C to copy the notes from my other screen, control V. So basically what I said was, I'm trying to figure out why I got a headache. I had a sourdough bread sandwich with 4 slices of Bar S brand turkey lunch meat, some Walmart brand honey mustard, 8 olives, 4 dill pickle spears. Roughly 30 minutes later, I started getting a tremendous headache, and I've still got it right now. So I've eaten the bread before and not had this effect. I've eaten the mustard before and not had this effect. Never noticed a headache after eating the mustard. The only thing new to my diet is the turkey meat and the olives and the dill pickles. And since I didn't have to, it's already copied and pasted, I didn't have to actually use the dictate button, but I'll show you that next. Let's send that in there, see what it has to say. Potential causes: processed deli meat often has nitrates and other preservatives. Pickles are high in sodium and contribute to dehydration and raise blood pressure. Individually, these foods may not cause the problem, but the combination may have. Other factors: low blood pressure from skipping breakfast or long gaps between meals can cause the headaches to be worse. And it says you test everything one at a time, which is pretty much common. But one thing I forgot to do was to throw in the double check your answers thing. So I'm going to try that. This time I'm going to use the microphone button. And the first time you use this, it's probably going to have a pop up over here someplace saying, hey, do you allow ChatGPT or Chrome, or I'm using the Chrome browser to say, do you allow access to your microphone? And you got to click yes, or you can't use it. So let's try it. So you see how it, and wait for it to start showing your voice at the bottom here. So I'm going to stop this because I don't want ChatGPT to process what I'm saying now. I'm going to start over. So if you click the X, it erases what you just did. If you click the check mark, it's going to process the text of your speech and turn it into text. I need you to double check your answers and verify everything you have so far presented to me. Wait for it to convert. Didn't say that the way I wanted to say it, but ChatGPT will figure it out. And hopefully it has everything in here. You need to look at the text because sometimes it doesn't interpret it correctly, but that looks okay. And let's send it on up. Click on the arrow. Okay, it's going to say, let's go step by step and verify. Conclusion, most likely culprit is processed turkey, pickles, and olives due to nitrates, sodium, and or triamine. So the next thing I did was I looked up each product by brand so that it could research and find the ingredients right off the manufacturer's site or off of another site. So the next thing, I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate talking into this thing instead of copying and pasting to show you a little bit more about how clearly you need to speak in order to get ChatGPT's speech to text converter to work properly. So I need you to look up the ingredients for Bar S brand turkey deli meat. Double check your answers and analyze it for possible causes of my headache. Click on the checkbox and wait for the thing to convert it. If I hit the microphone button again by accident, it will add whatever I'm saying now to the chat window. I did that by mistake. Not as a deliberate demonstration. I just hit the wrong button. So hit the up arrow to send in your query. The potential headache triggers sodium nitrate, sodium ethorbate, sodium phosphates. The combination could contribute to your headache if you are sensitive to these compounds. Monitoring your intake. Okay, I'm going to give the next one now. I need you to look up the ingredients label on Della Natura olive medley and analyze the ingredients for potentials for causing my headache. And glance over this thing to make sure it looks right. Sometimes it does not interpret correctly. I haven't seen any clear pattern as to why, but occasionally I will talk into this thing and it will just come back with garbage. But most of the time it works fine. Send it on up, pressing the arrow button. Give it a minute to search the web. There's the ingredient labels. That looks like could be the bottle. Let me hold it up here with the camera. There's the actual bottle. And see if that looks pretty close to that one. Looks like it matches up all the calories and things. What does it say? Histamine, acidity. Conclusion, high sodium content, potential triamine, and acidity and other additives could contribute to your headache. And let's see the last one on my list over here on that side. On my other screen, I need you to look up the ingredients for Breckenridge Farm Spears, or Spears, pickle spears. Look up the ingredients and check them to see if any of them could cause a headache. Double check your answers and verify everything is correct. Now, before I forget, I wanted to throw out there that if you're using the regular chat and not a temporary chat, this is all temporary here. So as soon as I click the close button, it's going to be gone forever. But if you're using the regular chat where it's recording everything that you're doing in I guess what you call a permanent file that you can refer back to over here on the left-hand panel, you can say what I say to it. When I want to remember something forever, I will say, remember this, always do this. So in this case, if I wanted to tell them to double check your answers every time, I would do a short statement at the beginning of my chat window or and say the rest of the text, or I would do it standalone. Probably doing it standalone by itself and sending it in is a better option because it might add all the other things if you have more than one thing after you say, remember this. You say, remember this, always double check your answers and verify everything before you give me an output. Let me know anything you find that is false or could be false. And if you kept talking after that, it's also going to save all that into your remember this file, your personal preferences file is what it's called, personal preferences. And in all your permanent chats will always check that file for your personal preferences when it's doing its output. So I could technically tell it to remember this in a permanent chat, not a temporary chat, and it would always double check everything, which will add time to the, it will take longer for it to reply back with an answer. But as you can see, it's going pretty quick. So unless you're doing some really deep, heavy research, it's either way. I still would double check my answers. I don't care how long it takes, unless it's crazy like it. I've never experienced more than just a few seconds of wait time, no matter what I've been searching for. Unless I've been doing deep research, there's a option on here. Let's see. I don't have time. I don't have it in this temporary chat, but there's an option to do deep research, and that's can take 10, 15, 20 minutes because it goes out there and searches. Anyway, let me send this up. See what the pickle spears have in them. High sodium content, vinegar, calcium chloride. Well, the combination of high sodium content, vinegar, and sorbate 80, polysorbate 80 could contribute to your headache. And one final question. Give me your best analysis of all of these foods and tell me if any one or a combination of them could contribute to a headache. And let me send it on up. And let's get down to the bottoms here. Most likely contributors, bar S turkey because of nitrates and sodium. Bottom line, it's not just one food. It's likely the synergy of all three combined. So I guess I'm going to have to eat one separately and see if any one by themselves causes me a headache. So there's a short demonstration of how you too can use ChatGPT or any other large language model AI system like Claude, Gemini, or even the AI system built into the Google search to help you with your daily tasks and save you hours of manual researching, clicking links, having to go to each individual website or document and figure things out. And I'll talk to you later.